has approved citizen vigilante Martin Amidu as Ghana's first special prosecutor, but a heated debate characterized his approval. If given the chance to choose which issue he should probe first, which one will it be?
The issue I want Martin Amidu to address is the 2014 catch that they fly to South Africa for the players. You know, it came up and then there were so many issues that came up. But then we want him to go into it and then bring out the details of why money was flight to South Africa and why they brought down the image, the reputation and image of Ghana as a country.
I support sports because when we talk of Brazil, there's a lot of money that we spend over there, but as of now, we didn't see anything about that. And this man, I want him to tackle this sports matter first.
The first case, I think the sports council, because one, the way this our the sports councils have been treating this sports up to now, there's a case at the court pending on our league. With the council are not doing anything about it. Always nyantechi, why? If there's something there which they are enjoying, Martin have to look into it.
You start with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, because what is actually happening there is really not something nice. You should go there right now. You see a lot of issues. People will be applying for just a passport, and then it will take a number of years just because they will be expecting something they call brown envelope. If you don't put in something, trust me, you won't get your passport.
All right, very interesting comments, Joel. Right. You know which case you should begin with?
No, I'll stay out of all of this. Stay out of it. Let's get on Facebook and see. Joey B says, today, dear, I'm here to comment. I will come on TV some. You must investigate how EL took Artist of the Year 2016. Oh, no! Samuel Nanakete says we're watching football. We'll comment later. Okay. King Zach says he should start with the Cash for Sea saga because I strongly believe that it has not been brought to finality. Original Dude says, Charlie, with the top footballer, you say Martin Amidu. Then Felix says, I confirm which flew out of northern region, Sada. Bafasara says, all corruption cases because they are crimes against humanity. And Elvis Nchubwesiaku, he says he would want to see the bus branding. And Samuel Traeger just goes, Ego be rough.
Very interesting comments there. Now, also, what will you do with $300 if the government of Ghana decided to give you that amount? Well, each citizen of Singapore aged 21 and above will receive this amount because their 2017 budget came in with a surplus of about $7.6. Interesting, right? So, do you foresee such grace ever falling on Ghana?
Now, I don't foresee that happening in Ghana. For money is being doled out to people, like as we said, Singapore is being done for free, without doing any job. It will be. I don't think it will happen. It can happen in Ghana.
I think what has happened in Singapore is possible of happening in Ghana. I think within the next period of time, probably some 100 years' time, if only we can go back to our values such as our commitment level, sincerity, and then our honesty to the way we administer our country. I think looking forward, the loopholes that we have in the various sectors, in our port systems, in the various ministries and other sports industries, you could see clearly that if you are able to make sure that we have financial prudency and then efficiency, gradually Ghana will also get there.
I'm not very sure that it's possible because of the state the country is in now. It will take a longer time to get there, but we are hoping that if that happens, then hallelujah. But I don't believe that even if that happens, the citizens will get that money.
Which country?
Ghana.
Here? Oh, come on. To you, how can that happen? With these are corruptions. Selfish leaders. They always think about themselves. You set an example. Such a park like this have been abandoned for a long time. With this can generate a revenue to the country. But nobody cares. Without thinking about their selfishness, what they will earn before leaving power.
Okay, so those are very interesting comments from the streets. Let's see what you've been writing on Facebook.
On Facebook, so Horace says, yes, of course, it's been happening in Ghana long ago. Can't you see the living standard of politicians and highly paid chief executives, director generals with their kids? They shared our budget surplus long before the budget is prepared and presented in Parliament. They are legal, academic, and technical robbers controlling our public purses. I'm not in perception mood. And Salim says, bravo. Al-Hassan Seminu says, while some are getting surplus over their budgets, others are getting deficits and still feeling proud of it upon all the uncountable natural resources in the country. We ask ourselves, why is it like that at all? Robert Esuman says, even if it happens in Ghana, don't forget our elders and leaders don't share profits. They only share debt. Boshe Promise says, in this country, where politicians don't have any better things to do than wasting our resources. Example, planning to give Ebony State burial is a waste of resources.
The minister didn't say that. She said...
Kofi Che says, Mr. Important Assets Minister and Cash for Seats Ministry will gather the surplus at room 308 and share it amongst themselves.
And Charles Trinidad writes, if the likes of the Nadu had been present since independence, we would have achieved more than that. Walanyo Akwetia says, only by God's intervention through Mr. Martin Amidu, who can retrieve the stolen monies before, but it is impossible in Africa. Amiku says, no, never, not even in our dreams will we get such surplus, because the politicians will follow us into the dream and clear the into so. And Professor Kwame says, meanwhile, Ekufuor-Addo allocated all these money worth 15 trillion old cities into his presidency last year. Yet 250 children died of heart disease because most of the cardiac centers in our hospitals are not functioning. Cardio centers, I think. And change this bad change come 2020. I see. Francis Adom says, even how many cocoa farmers have tasted Milo or chocolate? Forget. It can't happen in our part of the world. And Jude Redo writes, and he laughs out loud and he says, you think our leaders will be stupid enough to give us $300 when they can share among themselves? All right. And K Blessing Sapon comes to write, Anka Jimmy Crab. With this attitude of corruption, budget deficit crowd, they are chopping nyafu na surplus, really. And Kojo comes in to say Ghana will start heading to Singapore for loan upon hearing this news. Let me get there before them. And when the premier says it's impossible because one person like Wyoming will be allowed to take 51 million cedis for free. Those are very interesting comments. And finally, now partners are excited when their family members accept their to-be spouse one way or the other. But what if it's the opposite? So I need you to tell me what you think, that whether you feel responsible for how your family members treat your spouse or partner.
I believe that families interfering in your relationship, as in shouting on your beloved, is as a result of you, the man, because the actions that they will be showing and you two might not say anything will lead to, in your absence, your family members also doing the same to your wife. So that's what I believe in.
No, not really. Or maybe they have their own reasons that they don't want to accept the guy or something, but I don't think so. I think I'm over 80% responsible for how my family members treat my spouse. It depends, like when your family members come home and they look at how you relate to your spouse, it determines how they are also supposed to relate to him. And also when you go home to show your spouse to your parents and they look at you and they see that, oh, this couple, I think they are good to go. They'll definitely treat him right, but some people, when they come home to their spouse, they don't treat them right. So when you have little siblings you live with and they come to you and you're not treating your spouse right, they'll definitely not treat him right too.
And I tend to agree with the last speaker, Israel, that I mean you are responsible for how your family treats your spouse.
Sure.
The way you and there's this saying that it goes, the way you sell your product is how much they'll buy. So yeah, sure.
Kwesi Boateng says yes, value your partner, treat her with respect, and none of your family members can misbehave towards her. Disrespect her, and your family members will follow. Dan Anaxi says yes, the way I conduct myself determines how my family should behave towards my wife. And then Isaac Survival says, if you disrespect my wife, you will not even come close again, so others will learn to respect. Samuel Kwabna Kapute says, only uncivilized family members turn out to be bad in-laws. Wamade says, oh yes, it only shows the kind of family you belong.
And Ebaltino Abete says, sometimes Joseph Adobo only laughs, and Joy B. Okay, he's telling us.
Let's call something much.
Eugene Asabo says sometimes it depends. And Walanya Kwiche says human beings change depending on the circumstances. So I can only say yes or no. And those are your comments.